Good evening.
Hello, my name is Casey Grigsby. Being a product of the Jersey City public school system, a parent of an 8th grader, part of the PS11 Parent Council, as well as landlord, business owner of Jersey City, I want to take this opportunity to express my serious concern about the Jersey City Board of Education anti-bullying policy and unintended impact on our children. I hope that every teacher, staff member, and parent in this room will take a serious look at the policy and collectively work together to ensure that the policy is implemented in a way that protects our children, both from bullies and from some of the unintended dangerous impact of the policy. Currently, most teachers, staff, and students whom I have spoken to claim that no one has gone over the policy step by step, nor explained the consequences stated in this policy. I became aware of the lack of education amongst our teachers and school staff when my son was mixed up in a wrongful accusation of anti-bullying around February 2011. The suspension against my son was rescinded in the end, but only after I made a call to a friend of mine who was our current United States President's classmate at Harvard Law, so that she could review the documents and actions taken against my son. My attorney pointed out a series of actions made in error based on the protocols listed in the anti-bullying policy. PS11 staff members should not be blamed for anything. I just think proper education of the actual protocols and consequences need to be explained and enforced. I asked friends of mine who are various teachers from various Jersey City public schools about their perspectives on this policy, and they all told me the same thing. If any child accuses another of bullying, the teachers don't question it. They just send the kids to the office because they are too afraid to lose their jobs. I'm here to not blame any of the staff. In fact, it requires knowing a little bit about law to understand this policy. In a parent council meeting, it came to my surprise that the student council president, who was made the leader of the PS11 anti-bullying movement, was never required, nor did he understand the way the language was written in this policy. The parents were also not aware that once a child is accused of bullying, an electronic record is sent to the Department of Education through the Electronic Violence and Vandalism Reporting System. Why is this important? When I mentioned this to the parents, they became quite upset. This is the start of a direct criminal profiling of our kids at an early age. There is no way to determine the impact on a child's future because of the criminalization and label as a bully at an early age. This should concern every parent in this room. Most parents do not have financial resources or connections to obtain a lawyer. Does this mean that their children should unjustly be labeled as a bully? Had I not been able to get an attorney involved, that's exactly what would have happened to my child. Budget cuts in education are being made at the state level. At the same time where prisons are being built, one could make a correlation between our decreased ability to educate our kids in the Jersey City school system with the number of young people who are ending up in prisons that are being built. Although my son's situation was resolved, I am here speaking on behalf of concerned parents. I am a victim of bullies when I was a child myself, and believe that our kids should be protected from being bullied at school. I also believe that they should also be protected from the unintended impact of this policy and how it's being implemented. Schools can and must do a better job in striking a balance between protecting our kids and criminalizing them at an early age, which sets them on the path to prison. I demand better education of this policy line by line and consequences listed to all teachers, parent councils, and student councils. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dr. Epps.
Ms. Grizzly, let me thank you for your report. I think it's absolutely wonderful, and you're absolutely right about certain things. But there's certain things that you're not correct about. First of all, the policy it's really by law. We didn't make it up. It came from, so it is by law. Number two, there is a bullying specialist in every school. And before a child is is recommended, they have to go through a process. They have to meet with the bully. They just don't go right to the office and they're labeled as a bully. If that happened here, then I apologize. But we do have a specialist. We just appointed a person tonight to coordinate our bullying in every school. So there will be activities going on to train teachers, to train administrators, to understand what to look for. I have to tell you, when we did our anti-bullying campaign, I never knew that so many students were bullied on different kinds of things, whether it was gender, whether it was height, whether it was color, whether it was obesity, whatever they were. Students came out and talked about it. So this is how, we had legal to look at the policy. We have reviewed it, and absolutely, it's not our creation. It was done by law legislators, and this is what we're trying to implement. We're one of the very first districts that are looking at this solely. I'd like to have you come on board, maybe help us since you have those kind of contacts, so we can look at it. So whatever happened to your child, it would never happen to anybody else if it was done unjustly. So I thank you for coming forward, and I'm going to ask you to really talk to one of our lawyers to see how you can help us and assist us in the future. Will that be okay?
Yeah, sure.
There
was just two major things that, even though you said it's statewide, it comes from the state? The anti-bullying policy?
The policy, yes.
Okay.
All the requirements are made by the state, they're not made by us.
So
they're mandated, there's nothing I can do about it.
Well, it just needs to be taught better to the teachers, the staff.
And maybe that's where that's what we got to do with parents, and do that at our parent meetings first of all, so they'll understand. We're going to have another anti-bullying summit very soon. We'll invite parents just like we did before, and all of the children. So come aboard and help us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you again. Elizabeth Perry.